Douglas. The judge will speak directly to you once she reviews those motions. Okay, sir?
Who am I speaking with? That's fine. Who am I speaking with?
This is just the judge's bailiff. The judge is going to be speaking with you next. So, Judge, please review those motions, and then you can speak with Mr.
Can you
Douglas.
tell me who your name is? What your name is, bailiff? Bailiff.
Sure, my name is Josh.
Who?
My name is Josh.
John?
Me.
Josh.
Josh? Okay, who was the bailiff? Who was the bailiff that worked there at the last meeting?
That was Magistrate Dowling that was on. Judge, if you please review those motions.
Sir, have you retained an attorney instead of Mr. Karchi?
Excuse me, Your Honor. How you doing today?
I'm good.
Is this
How about
judge?
yourself?
Is this Judge Honorable Sweeney?
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, I would like to.
You said you wanted to represent yourself.
I'm presenting these motions that I filed for the calendar, not the bailiff. So I'm gonna let you know who I am and what I'm here to present for the record. Okay?
Okay. I can't. I'll just start by saying I can't just dismiss the charges once they're filed because you're pro se.
Listen, Miss Sweeney, please don't start arguments on the motion I haven't even presented yet with the courts. I only filed it with the courts. I'm experienced in presenting arguments for my defense motions, and I understand you can't just, but you can adjust to these motions. That's why I filed them. Go ahead, Miss Sweeney.
Senator, I don't see a certificate of service. I'm not sure if these were properly served.
All right, well, they may not been properly served, but they were served to the clerk.
I am indigent and asking the clerks to give one copy to all parties.
Well, if the clerks haven't did that and the prosecutor want to waive that, then we can move forward with these motions. The fact that they weren't properly served.
Would you like to waive today, or would you like to be properly served, sir?
Senator, I would like to be properly served. I would need an opportunity to review.
Well, you don't have to be properly served for motion number 3, which is dismiss Tina Trishafari.
Judge, can I ask for clarification because I was sick last week and Mr. Berman was here? Can I withdraw from this case? He says he wants to represent himself, and I believe he, if this is the gentleman that came in and got his own copy of discovery, I believe. I was not here last week. I'd like to move to remove myself, to withdraw from counsel, if he says he wants to represent himself like he said last week. Is that what's happened last week? Could someone bring me up to speed?
Yes.
I don't know what.
That's what happened last week. I moved to discharge the public defender and represent myself, and the judge granted that motion last week. And I put it a motion.
Everybody stop. Mr. Karchi, what happened last week was the judge was unavailable, so we had to move the case to today for her to speak about it. That's all we did last week was give a continuance.
Objection. That's not the truth, and you're not telling the truth. As an officer of the court, you're trying to stick up for your friend who's not here today for the cowardliness of a criminal offense. Now, that judge said on the record, I was pro se at that time, and he cut you off and allowed me to speak for the record. And at that moment, you became so angry, you hung up the Zoom court while I was in the county court using a laptop. I filed a complaint and asked for you to be sanctioned for not allowing me to be on record and be present in court. That violated my constitutional right. That's why I asked you what was your name and the name of the bailiff who was at the prior courtroom, because that was a felony and civil violations. It violated my right to be present in court, and I'm moving to dismiss the charges for that reason.
If you would like, sir, you could come to my courtroom 12C is in Cleveland.
Yeah, I can come. I was at your courtroom at the last meeting using your laptop. What you and I was appointed I mean, but if you want to redo it at this hearing, or you want to accept it from the last hearing, it's pretty much up to you.
Unfortunately, we have to serve, because it looks to me, from what I can see, that, unfortunately, you asked the clerks to give one copy to all parties. They did not, unfortunately, they did not serve the prosecutor. So I am going to make copies. I will, cause service to be sent to the prosecutor. I'm gonna have this, downloaded and he can get, let me see.
The prosecutor don't have to be served for a motion for discharge of counsel. That's a Nelson and a Ferretta inquiry got to be held immediately. It's no objections from the state. They don't have to be served. It's the defendant moving under the Sixth Amendment Constitution to represent itself pro se, and he have the right to do that at any time. It does not say he have to serve the prosecutor. I was just being sarcastic when I said that. When I filed it with the clerks, they were served because the state is the clerks.
Excuse me, Judge. Can I interrupt for 1 minute?
Yes, please.
I have a ruling on my motion to withdraw from representation. He did come to our office. I just had my supervisor come in and get his discovery. So I'd like to have a ruling on that if you would.
I will allow you to withdraw, in your oral motion, and it aligns with Mr. Douglas's motion. So as you both wish the same thing,
Yes.
I am going to allow you to withdraw as counsel.
Okay, and you don't need a written one. A verbal is enough for you.
I will write oral motion to withdraw.
I need a written one, Your Honor, for the record. Yes, I do, because I am a part of this case, and I do need to know this lawyer's
Thank you, Judge.
objections. If you will put that in ruling. Thank you, Judge.
I am going to indicate for the record, Mr. Carchi, I'm going to grant it, but I would prefer you do that in writing.
Thank you.
Okay, I will do that in writing. Thank you.
I got one.
File that. He's trying to make a record, and I understand he needs things in writing.
Yes.
So if you expect things in writing, sir, you have to give the prosecutor the same courtesy. Do you understand? If you're trying to make a record and you haven't served the prosecutor, your motions can fail.
If the state attorney don't know how to check with the clerk of courts after 40 years, what do you expect from me, Your Honor?
Well, I always say overdo it when it comes to legal things. You're better off having too much than too little.
Yes, ma'am, I will. Now, can you make a official ruling on the record for this motion to discharge counsel? Did you say I am now pro se for the record?
Well, you said you want her to do it in writing, so I
don't. I want her to do it in writing, and she can follow with the course, and I get it later. But I want you to make the ruling that she terminated now, so I can represent myself under the Sixth Amendment Constitution, give me the right to fire, discharge counsel once I let you know that I am sure I want her gone.
make sure the prosecutor gets served. Number two.
Objection, Your Honor, for the record.
I'm talking now, and you're going to listen.
If you want to remain on this case, Your Honor, please don't yell at the defendant for just speaking politely on the record.
I can yell at you for interrupting, sir.
Yes, you may. Yes, you may.
Use my gavel.
Yes, you may. Okay, Your Honor. I apologize.
All right. Only one person can talk at a time. Agreed?
Yes.
I'm speaking now. You're asking to hire for the court to pay for a private investigator. Unfortunately, the public defender's office has private investigators. You would have to motion, and I would have to go through administration to get a private investigator hired. I don't know whether or not administration would grant that, but we do not have funds here in the court unless you don't have a murder case, sir. So if you want I mean, that's the only time I've known that type of motion to be granted is in manslaughter cases. If you would like an investigator, I may be able to ask the public defender's superiors, not Mr. Karchi. I may be able to ask Mr. McGee to arrange for his investigators, if that's the public defender investigator to work with you, or would you rather we go through the administration route?
Go through the administration route, Your Honor. That way I can control the $5,000 to $6,000 I'm gonna request this court to give me from the defense funds that the
There
county
is
or
no
state.
defense fund. Where did you get that, sir?
Where do you think defense funds is provided to the public defenders from, ma'am? The defense funds, they apply for it. It comes from a government office.
Well, I could appoint you new counsel, but that doesn't mean that they're gonna be able to get you, if you want new counsel, I could probably get private counsel.
No, I'd rather represent myself pro se. I'm 100% sure I want to discharge counsel today and represent myself, ADACIA Douglas. On this case, I no longer want counsel attached to this case other than myself.
Do you know any private investigators that you would hire?
No,
So you don't have any recommendations?
no.
Well, I will motion administration. So I'm going to indicate I'm going to indicate to administration that wishes to proceed pro se. Mr. Karchi, I'm going to grant your motion to withdraw as counsel, but you are expected to file the same request in writing today if possible.
If I can today, I will, definitely.
Or first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm just sort of lost as to what the motion for a civil investigator was. Without knowing what that motion, I don't have an opportunity to object or.
You mean the need for a private investigator?
Your Honor, yes, I don't know what the motion for the private investigator was even for. If it has to do with the fact that, for instance, if it has to do with sorting out the charges.
Well, he's made it very clear that he wishes someone to investigate the facts of his case. So from what I can see, filed this motion on, you filed one motion on October 31st and one on November 2nd. So the one motion as it relates on October 31st is to discharge counsel. And I'll have Paul walk that to you. How about that?
Okay.
You can sign for it that it's personally served.
Okay. What typically happens is the defendants would hire their own private investigator to rely on the court to hire or grant a motion.
What rule are you referring to?
Just in general, the defendants would do their own investigative work. I'm not sure what rule the defendant's talking about asking the court to appoint.
Motion can be granted or stricken. It's just a motion.